Yo, what's going on, everybody? Rungy from Rungy Chat. So we've got another episode we're doing today, and it is going to be a little bit different. I am on my way to Culture Fitness to meet up with my old PT, Malcolm. We're going to do a segment on him. I believe this man is just an inspiration to all, especially within the fitness communities. We're going to find out a little bit about his story and just do a little bit of a chat about how he came to the fitness industry, what brought him to it, the things that made it hard for him, and how he's managed to keep on track and get to where he is. I've spent a lot of time with Malcolm, and I think I'm at nearly the 27 kilo mark I've lost since being with Malcolm. It's been a slower progress to what other people were, but I told him I didn't really want to compromise a lot of my lifestyle with my daughter and stuff like that. I still wanted a fun life, but a healthy life, and we've been able to achieve that. So we're going to be doing a workout as well as having a bit of a chat. So we're going to post some footage so you can see who Malcolm is. But today's going to be different. So let's go.
So let me take a couple of deep breaths just to regulate. It's been a while, man. You know what I mean?
You know, virtually, I introduce you, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we just run with the chat.
Yeah.
And that is literally it. And whatever outcome it comes with, that's what it comes with.
Na festa do fim de semana, só rolê bom. Ela chega e desencana com passo bem show. Na festa do fim de semana, só rolê bom. Ela chega e desencana com passo bem show.
All right, guys, so we are back with Rungy Chats, another episode. I'm doing something real different. We've taken a step back from the automotive community, and I'm jumping into other things. So for everyone that thought this was just going to be a bike-related channel, you're wrong. So I'm here with not only one of my favorite PTs, a really good friend of mine, Malcolm. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. No, that's not how I talk. Sorry, guys. I might get cancelled in the first 10 seconds.
Just straight off to not cancel the guy.
He's gone.
So I met Malcolm a few years ago. I was training at Culture, and I'm sort of a bit of a stalker, and I was sussing out all the PTs. And the problem that I found when I had been with other PTs, which we've discussed before, was it's a very scripted PT session, very scripted PT menu. Like, they cater the same to everybody, I found. Like, I've had friends that have been with PTs before. All 4 or 5 of us were the same one. We had the same workout regime, same food regime, and a few of us would get results, the other ones wouldn't. So I was sort of standoffish with getting another PT. But then when I spoke to you in the gym, I was like, nah, this guy knows his stuff, and he's like straight catering to me. And I found the moment I got on with your program, within a week of you sort of sussing me out, seeing what I was trying to gain in my workouts, you're like, okay, cool, we're going to switch this up. Yeah. Changed my routine on my food, changed my routine in the gym, and we're a year and a half later, nearly 30 kilos down. I'm feeling lighter, I'm getting more form, I'm healthier, and it's thanks to you. And like, I haven't even been training with you as well. So it's a testament to you as a PT that what you do works, because even coming out of it, not having you there all the time, I'm still keeping up with my progression, if that makes sense.
Dude, you're trying to get me all emotional at the start of the freaking podcast.
Making him blush, guys. Making him blush already.
No, I'm about to cry, man. I mean, look, at the end of the day, right, for me as a coach, the main goal is not to have the person looking their best at the end of the actual, like, any particular transformation plan or whatever. Yeah. But to me, it's to help this individual, or any individuals, no matter how new you are or how seasoned you are in the gym, is that the moment you stepped out of the gym, or when you stopped coaching under my coaching plan for ages as well, is that you've already adopted the habits and behavior that you've learned while you're with me.
To continue it.
To continue it after. The very normal thing in every fitness, in the fitness scene in general, is people throw out transformation challenges. Yeah. Now, that's all and good for someone who's driven, and someone who just wants to get a kick up the ass just to get into the gym, to really work towards something. And I'm all for that, okay? Don't get me wrong, I'm all for it. I'm not here to like slander anything, because to me, plans tend to work if a plan is adhered to. Yeah. There is a form of consistency and discipline implemented within that plan. Now, but the transformation sometimes people take the approach the wrong way. You give someone a 12-week transformation. After 12 weeks, what happens?
They've lost that discipline.
Correct.
They've lost that push from that person.
Yes,
now they're on their own.
Correct. It's like, too often people don't realize, or everyone don't realize, is that it's not about the final destination. It is about the journey.
Yeah.
The moment you're about to
longevity.
cross that finish line, you have to already think, what's the next finish line?
Yeah.
But that being said, it could be from a physical change goal, could be a habit goal as well.
Mental state.
Correct. And it's how you reinforce that as you go. And also making sure that you hold yourself to the highest standard, that whatever you learn, you carry on outside the gym.
Yeah.
You adopt new habits, you get rid of old habits.
Yeah.
And that's why, I'm so proud of you, dude. Like 30 kilos gone, and that's not even like say you've stopped with me for about 6 months.
Yep.
Yeah,
about
6 months, and you're still adopting that goal.
Yeah.
And to me, that's as a coach, that's all I could ever ask for. Like I think I spoke to you a while back when we were also training just then. Like for me, like I always tell everyone, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah. That's
cool.
fine.
Sometimes I don't know if I can swear. If I swear, it's just like, dude, no. And okay. So, like, remember when I first consulted you in the room? What's the first sentence I said to you? I don't give a fuck about your money.
Yeah, 100%.
All I care about
no
is
money at
changing your life.
Yep.
And I even said to you as well, I really want to help you.
Yeah.
And I don't chase dollar value from what goes into my bank account. I chase value in a sense of impact I can generate to the people around me.
Yeah.
Because if I can make you feel good for yourself, getting you passing your limiting self-beliefs, your confidence goes up, then the way you carry yourself is there, your energy is high. What does that do? That causes a ripple effect where you give those energy onto others.
Yeah.
And then people go like, man, I like this guy.
And that's 100% what's happened. Like a lot of people have seen that in me and they've gone like, how? And I've tagged, I've recommended you. It's not trying to make your friends believe, a scam or a pyramid scheme to get them on with your PT. Like if there's a difference with that and people actually generally seeing shit. Like I've noticed this weight loss. I've noticed his body change. I've noticed his attitude change. I want to talk to this person as well, you know what I mean? Like they will then start believing in it.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, man.
Where if it's a transformation, like you said, sometimes people don't keep those habits up. So whilst they lost weight, their mindset's still the same, their attitude's still the same. They haven't built from it. So people are like, oh, I don't know about this. This looks dodgy.
Let's just play on that word transformation. When you tell everyone transformation challenge, people just think a physical transformation, right?
Not, man.
It's not about how you look at the end of the transformation, it's who you become at the end of the transformation. If you're the same individual with the same mentality and the same mindset at the very beginning of your transformation, at the end of it, you're going to revert back to square one.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas when you transform who you are as the person that you are, you're a whole different individual. You're the 2.0 version of yourself from when you first started.
Yeah.
And that's who you are now. And that's, to me, that's what I've always chased as a coach.
Yeah.
The client still looks good, but
feels
amazing, and carry those habits on after that transformation.
That's the win there.
That's the biggest win.
Yeah.
The physical changes, the weight scale changes, and the habit changes. It leads into the big win.
And talking small wins, I think that's a big thing that people don't celebrate. And I preach this a lot. Like I say it all the time to my partner and friends around me. You need to celebrate the small wins. People have these huge goals, and it's great to have huge goals, but you need to have these little milestone steps that are going to progress you to that big goal.
Yeah.
And you need to celebrate it. It might be as simple as treating yourself to a weekend away down south or something like that. You need to celebrate those small, tiny wins, because it instills this sense of self-worth inside of you that you're like, fuck, I can do that. I can win. If you're constantly trying to reach that top and you're falling every step of the way and you haven't celebrated anything, you end up becoming down and you go, what's the point?
Yeah.
I'm never going to reach that point. I'm giving up.
Expectations are way too high.
Yeah.
Set your expectations, but also learn to dub it down a little bit.
100%.
Right? And even when it comes to gym in general, okay? Like a lot of my clients tend to think that they fail me by telling me, hey man, look, I'm so sorry, I didn't attend the gym this week. I only went once this week, and I just didn't have the time. Like when Brandon initially started with me, same concept, dude. Like he's such a busy man, which I have to understand. He is a business owner. And to me as a coach, I'm not going to say, bro, you need to get your ass into the gym and train.
You've got to counter, man.
I told him straight away, dude, went in once, Brandon, you're not going in at all.
And for those of you who don't know, that's Brendan Bayless Electrical. I'm coming for you. You're going to be in a position like this soon. He is a big inspiration to me. So we'll chuck him in the...
And a real good client of mine as well, and a really good friend as well.
We'll click him in the link. This man's someone that I think we need to get on the channel as well. It'd be really good. But
that guy loves his toys, man. So that guy loves his toys.
Like you said, though, it is those small wins, getting in once. If you're someone that never went to the gym period before and you went once, that's a win.
Yeah. Because if you reflect on the card, I didn't know that, man.
Yeah,
My
that's all good.
So, like, put into perspective, okay? you're someone that now goes into the gym once a week. That's one more than what you used to do,
right? Yeah, exactly. And it's that mentality. Like, I think the biggest thing I was finding, because I live so far away from Culture, it's why I switched up gyms closer to home. It was those real hard days that I was like, fuck, like, it's so far. Like, it's, 35 minutes there, 35 minutes back. Like, it was becoming a struggle on some days. So going 5 minutes from home, that struggle's gone. It deletes it. But then, like, I try to, tell people as well, okay, you didn't go to the gym today, but what did you do? Oh, actually, like, I just went to the beach with the dogs, took the dogs. It's still a form of activity. Like, that's still fitness. Celebrate that.
I'd rather that than someone who sits on the couch and just scrolls through Netflix. I'd rather someone who goes out to the beach and sits down and enjoys the sun.
Yeah.
Hell, getting the sun as well is much more beneficial for someone rather than just sitting in, I guess, indoor and not getting natural sunlight.
Yeah. There's so much activity you can still do at home if you're not having that move. You can do your lunges, you can do your burpees, you can do your push-ups, you can do your sit-ups. You can turn something you think isn't nothing into a 45-minute to an hour routine.
Absolutely right.
Right at home, and that's still you attending. That's still counted as a day. Like,
and even, let's say, even if someone doesn't want to train at home or doesn't want to do a bodyweight workout at home, the way I do things from some of my clients who work from home, for example, is this. Okay, you don't want to do any bodyweight workouts. May I advise you every hour, 5 minutes, go and check your house, check your lawn, and then after the 5 minutes, come and sit back down.
Done a walk.
And then go back to your work again. To me, that's more activity than what you've normally been doing, which is sitting on your butt all day on a computer and then going away from the computer for a bit, away from the screen, sit down on the couch again. To me, it's like you're going from, no.
Well, you look at that 8-hour day at work, at home, you do that for every hour, 5 minutes, it's a 40-minute workout right there.
Yeah.
So, like, it's that mentality mindset again, like we've spoken about before. It's switching that mindset of, oh no, like, that's not a workout, to, hang on, that's 40 minutes I've done throughout the day. I sit in a truck because I operate FIFO and we've got like a deck section.
Yeah.
So every hour I'll get out in the deck and I'll pump 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, 20 burpees. I do that for 12 hours, tally it up over the day.
Yeah.
I've killed it.
Yeah.
Like, I really
100%.
have. Like, I guarantee I do that for 12 hours, 20, 20 and 20. I've done more burpees, more push-ups and more sit-ups than probably someone does in an hour gym session. Because when I started with you, I was 130 to 140 kilo. I was a big boy. Is coming to a gym is very nerve-wracking. You see people like yourself, you see the other people and you're like, fuck, like, that dude's huge. Or what am I doing here? Like, I feel out of place. I didn't gain the weight overnight.
Correct.
So it's not going to come up overnight. If you can adapt that mentality, I find you already won 30% of the battle. If you started at 70 kilos and went to 140, and if you check those scales daily, I guarantee it didn't move every day until you got to that 140 bar.
Correct.
It's consistency. It's consistency on gym. It's consistency on food. And whilst I've lost all this, like, I didn't ever stick to Malcolm's food regime to 100%. It was probably 80 to 90. But I told him from day dot, I'm not going to do it. Like, I have a daughter. If we go out to the Royal Show or something, she goes, hey, Dad, I want the fairy floss. Hey, Dad, you need to eat this. I'm not going to say no to my kid. I'm sorry.
The way I tell everyone is this, right? I don't ever want someone to be 100% inconsistently.
Yeah.
If you are 70% every day, 80% every day, what have you, 90% every day.
That's still consistent.
Every day consistently at 70 to 80 with a treat here and there is better than someone's going to try to aim for 100%, but he or she's 100% every 3-4 days.
Yeah,
to
not
me,
the same.
There's too many variations in your data now. And if you cannot measure your data, you cannot manage your data. You know what I mean?
And if we talk about the fuck this stuff, like, this is where we get a bit deeper, and this is what I like about it, right? The biggest thing I've said, and we've discussed this before in the channel, a lot of channels that you see glamorize the Ferraris, glamorize the success, glamorize, the muscles, because you're big. Like, the biggest thing I found when I chose my PT, I wanted someone that was like a similar height to me, so I could envision a possibility.
I mean,
on what
you're
I
taller
like.
than me, that's
yeah,
big fat.
yeah, like,
nice
but I like a little bit, like you see people, like, you see a 6'6" dude and you're like, fuck, he's huge, I want to be like that. But in theory, like, my torso ain't that big. I just want to be that big boy, and that's
a fit
dad, and that's what I'm sort of accomplishing. And like fitness, like business, we all hit that point where we just go, nah, I can't do it. I'm done. This is too hard. I can't maintain it. With your PT, with life, have you ever hit that point?
Oh, man. Funny you mentioned that now. When we've been doing this for a lot of times, like, you've been waking the very early mornings, and then the late night finishes,
the emails, the talking to clients.
Correct. Just constant energy investment.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love what I do. It's a privilege to be able to work with people like yourselves and to see the change. And that's usually what primarily drives me, to see the change, to see the happiness on my clients' faces, happy when they walk in the door, happier when they walk out.
Yeah.
You see, I've always loved that that exact saying in my head. But yes, there are moments where I will wake up and I go, I really don't want to be doing this. With fitness in general, or the fitness scene in general, or health and fitness in general, the client base can be very hit and miss.
Yeah.
Sometimes you will gain a good handful of clients.
Sometimes you lose
and sometimes you lose them all in just like that.
Yeah.
And when your income is solely based on people,
affects you mentally.
it affects you mentally.
Yeah.
The expectation of myself as the coach is I expect you to understand where I'm coming from with how I make money.
And it gets hard as well, like when people either don't show up, don't pay their fees, just bail without you knowing. You'd hope people have that certain respect to be like, hey man, look, like I'm finding it hard at the moment. I'm going to have to drop off, which is what I did. Like as entrepreneurs, like a lot of the time, it is head above water. It's not easy. Like, do you find, like I find this in the clothing brand community, the automotive brand community, and I've seen it a lot because I've got a lot of ambassadors in the state now, and I talk to them. The culture in WA is very dog eat dog. Everyone will shit on everyone to try to get ahead. Where if you look at, places like Europe, the States, you have such an involved community of PTs, merchandise owners and everything in the same group doing the exact same thing, but working together as a whole.
Collaboration, yes.
And people are like, oh, but why would you do that? Like they're going to be taking your business, yada, yada, yada. The way that I see it, right, if you're by yourself trying to drive your business, it's just you.
Correct.
If there's 25, 30 of you PTs driving the same business, recommending clients, because there's going to be a point where you're too busy and you can't take on another client.
Yeah.
And you go, shit, like I know my mate James, he needs a couple clients.
I've got a few good friends here. My best friend Paul's one of them, Paul Sabatini, and then one of my other good friends is Danae.
Yep.
So like we all bounce off each other as well. So client base that we find that is not within our scope of practice.
But in someone else's.
We forward. You know what I mean? Like you say again, it's a dog-eat-dog world. But it's good when you find people of like mind who are willing to cooperate and create a sense of camaraderie to not be like everyone else.
And there's the old saying, strength in numbers. It's facts.
Right.
If you're building together as a whole, you're going to grow quicker, you're going to grow faster. But not just that, you're going to grow stronger and create a demographic that lasts.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing it solo and fizzling out because you can't handle it or you burn yourself out.
You have to have a culture where, because like I said, as humans, like we have this tribal instinct of wanting to be in a group, right?
Right.
And the thing is, like, at the end of the day, like, that's what it is, a tribe. Mm-hmm. And people who are within a tribe are more likely to succeed than a lone wolf, though.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Say, for example, a hunter hunts a wolf. If the hunter plans his route correctly, he'll be able to take that wolf out.
Yeah.
But if a wolf hunts in packs, that hunter has to rethink his choices.
100%.
Because it means, like, I'm going against a pack right now.
It's something I'm trying to change, not just with the channel, but like my business itself. Like, because I do get a lot of people that compete, or they'll come in, they'll spend some time with you, they'll get your plans, they'll get your ideas, and then they'll disappear and they come out and you're like, whoa, this person's just launched the same thing I have with the same regime, with the same style.
If someone has to do it in that way, where they have to come in and steal your program, just remember you're just a shadow, right?
Yeah, they're not going
to be as innovative as you are.
No, and I agree with that.
You're here to take what your ideas are and put it as a part of your own.
100%.
Unless this individual learned from you, took your idea, and then elevate your status by doing something a little bit more different to you, it'll make you go, heck yeah.
Exactly.
So you learn from me, and I'm going to learn from you.
Yeah.
How you do it, and you're going to take what he learned
and now you're bouncing off each other.
But if the individual is there to just steal your products or steal your innovation, they'll forever be a shadow because they're just going to be that one step behind you every single day.
And like we spoke before, like becoming a better you, they actually haven't truly found themselves.
Loss of identity.
You know, like they're just trying to latch on to the next hype thing to boost their Instagram, to boost this, instead of going, okay, who am I?
Yeah.
What are my values?
Correct.
What is my worth?
Correct.
And then putting those key characteristics on a platform and being like, that's me, that's where I need to be, and then everything else will follow.
That's amazing, as well said, and that can be also taken into life, right?
Yeah.
The one thing everyone has to do during those times is that self-reflection. You sit down, push everything around you away first, create that small dark void, and then it might sound very, very weird when I say this, but it's like that imagining like you're in a dark room, and then you just create a small light.
Yeah.
And in that small light, you start to feel that light with your core values. Start to light up that dark room with all your single values. That creates a sense of identity, so you'll never be lost. And how I would usually do that is actually asking yourself, say for example, let's take myself for example, right? I'm in the gym. The question I always ask myself is this: hey Malcolm, outside the gym, who are you?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah, you
Like,
don't want the gym to just be your identity.
exactly that.
Yeah.
You got to pull yourself back first and go, okay, in the eyes of others, I am this. But now, in the eyes of myself,
What am I?
who am I?
Yeah.
What am I?
Yeah.
What can I do to get better?
Yeah.
Like for someone always, I remember when I asked my client, so outside the gym, who are you? And my client just went, I don't know. Then my client goes, what about you, Malcolm? Flip that switch straight onto me. And my response was quick. I'm a loving brother. I'm a loving son. I'm a caring coach. I'm a gamer. I love studying. I'm a guy who likes to continuously soak in knowledge.
Yeah.
So, and the list goes on. I keep listing it to
Yeah.
the point where he goes, okay, I see your point now.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like when you know who you are and you have your own identity locked. That's a very weird gesture then. Locked? Yeah, locked. Locked is just like no one can ever test you.
Yeah.
And no one can ever persuade you as well because
To be something you're not.
correct, because you're reinforced.
Yep.
You're reinforced. You know who you are.
A lot of people will take offense to maybe someone's advice or the way that they see things through their eyes. And we as humans need to realize that not everyone's going to see it our way.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to judge it the same way we are. But it's our job to be understanding enough to maybe listen and go, shit, hang on, there is a point out of that I can take. Or I understand where you're coming from, but the reason why I do it this way is because of this. You listen to your clients' wants and needs because at some stage I might get to that complete level I'm at and go, fuck, I want the next level now.
Yeah.
All right, now I want to step it up. If you take the gym away or you
Yeah.
take a motorbike away from
Or
someone or
same
you take
thing,
your car,
if you injure yourself and you cannot train because
now what do you
after
got?
surgery, what are you going to do then?
right? And this is where a lot of people I see get that depression and that dark sort of place because then they're not just lost, they're lost without the one thing they had.
The purpose, yeah.
You know, their purpose. And this is where I try to voice to so many people, you can't be reliant on your hobby. You can't be reliant on this. You need more and you can have more.
Yep.
Be vulnerable and open to more than just what you think you need.
Yeah.
Don't put everything into one basket because like you said.
It's funny because you say this now, right? It's going to hit me a bit harder because now before I am who I am today, which I would have to give thanks to the people around me. I would not be who I am today if it wasn't my clients,
Yep.
my brother, my mother, my father, my partner. Like if it wasn't for the good people around me, like my good friends in the work as well, I won't be who I am today.
Yep.
Sure, like if everyone's listening right now, they're gonna be like, man, this guy, he seems he's got it all figured out. He's like real calm, real chill with everything right now. He's preaching like he's been through all
There were
that.
some battles before you got there.
Oh man, say like right now, who I am, the man of identity, the man who knows like what he wants, what he's chasing, and he seems real leveled out.
Wasn't always
6,
that.
7 years ago, no, so let me just tie back 5 years ago, and prior to me being here, who I am now, I was not like that.
Yeah.
I was a very different person. Okay. Right now, I like to put myself in a position where I have to be as genuine as I can. I have to be as truthful as I can, honest,
Yep.
hardworking, a man of high courage, a man of integrity, and a man of discipline.
Yep.
Prior to this, being
Different
a coach,
story.
I was not that guy. I was a liar.
Yep.
I was one of the worst liars out there. At the same time as well, I was in a position where I didn't even know who I am. I tried to fit different personas to try to please the masses. And in return, that ate me up slowly inside, right? Like, you got to that point where I cannot handle criticism. Someone would tell me that something that they don't like about me,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, you know what? Fuck you, I don't like you too.
Yeah.
Fuck your opinion. Whereas now when someone tells me that, I'm going, okay, I see where you're coming from. Can you please shed some light on that?
But being able to own your own fuck ups is a big thing,
Yeah.
dude. Like that really is being able
But
to go.
the thing is, though, it took me a while. Okay,
Yeah.
I was in denial, thinking I was always right.
Yeah,
It's like,
they're
no,
wrong,
they did
they're
wrong by
wrong.
me the whole time.
Yeah.
But truth be told, I too was not right. I
Yeah.
was wrong myself. But when I realized that, instead of trying to hold a grudge against every single one of them, I don't know more.
Yeah.
If you're gonna continuously judge me based on who I was then, well,
You haven't grown as a person.
you haven't grown as a person either.
Exactly.
That's what you just said, spot on, exactly that.
And holding that grudge and that pain on a situation, it's a waste of energy for one. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
That brings us to another part. Like, A lot of people value money. I value time.
I value impact.
See? So everyone's got their own persona on things. Like the reason why I value time is it's the one thing I find you can't replace, you can't repurchase, and you can't redo. Thinking of all the things in the past that did me wrong and holding grudges against it and being like, why me, why me, why did I have to go through with that? All I'm now doing is using past time to waste current time, which now affects future time, where I can be like, fuck, that was shit, that happened. How do I come out of that? What can I do to make sure that I don't hit that point in time again? Every ounce of money you could give me is my time. Yeah. So what is my time worth? And when I start looking at it that way, I go, okay, cool. Now that's what I'm worth.
Yeah.
So then I'm not going to go give my time to a negative person. I'm not going to go give my time to a person that might think ill or disrespected me just because of their opinion. I'm going to give it to the positive people.
Yeah.
Where you value impact.
100%.
Explain us on impact. What to you is an impact?
Impacting someone's lives for the better.
Yep.
Empowering them to feel comfortable and confident in their skin.
Yep.
Someone who has a reinforced mentality.
Yep.
And someone who's willing to do the work for the better of themselves. That's impact, because that carries on to everyone else around you. And I said, I will never chase dollar value in my bank account. I chase the value through impact. The amount of lives I can impact, the better. If I can impact one person's life a day, that's my quota. One person a day, that energy spreads. And I like what you mentioned, like the time investment that you can never get back.
Everything happens for a reason.
100%.
Whether it's good, bad, or ugly, it's a lesson we needed to learn.
Yeah.
If it was a bad experience, why did it happen? How did I come out of it again? And how can I improve?
Correct.
If it was a good lesson, still pull it apart. Why was it a good lesson? How did I come out from it? How can I make it a better lesson? There's always something to learn from, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. And we can prevent the same things happening again if we didn't like it by reviewing it and making sure, oh, fuck, I really made a mistake with that. And it's not just business. It's life in general. A relationship, a friendship, family, work life, hobby life.
Am I a reinforced individual? Probably not still. I'm always going to be making mistakes here and there, and I'll still learn from that.
Yeah. The biggest view that I view on time is when you're spending time with people, if you put your value at a higher point, and I use this a lot with a lot of the males, and because I get a lot of people in my inbox approaching me with advice and stuff like that, whether it be friendships or relationships, or you see people be like, oh, the gym culture's shit, or the automotive culture's shit. Guess what? It's not the culture. It's the people you allow time to yourself.
Yeah.
100%.
Energy investment.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So if I'm investing in the gym culture, all of my time and all my energy to a very negative group of people that are always down, always putting people down, not bringing people up, that's why I think the gym culture is shit, because of the people I'm allowing time to me. But if my value and my worth and my goals are so high, I'm not going to allow those people my time. I'll be like, hey, how are you? That's it. But you're not going to get that invested time with me.
Not everyone in the gym culture is shit.
They're not.
Because if everyone in the gym culture was shit, you wouldn't have met me.
Correct.
You wouldn't have met good people in the gym.
100%.
But there are good people out there still who are willing to do what is necessary to help other people grow.
I think the whole persona of people being like gym culture shit, automotive culture shit, and I could be wrong, but I feel like these people are the ones that they haven't found themselves yet. The gym is all they've got.
Yeah.
The car community is all they've got. So once that little group they're in goes wrong, they've lost that part they've got, and they go, it's shit, it's them, they're the problem. I need to stop going to the gym or change gyms or sell my car because I don't want to be in the community anymore.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's the people that are invested around you.
And at the same time, though, time, I play on that word again, have to give these people time.
Correct.
Because in time,
maybe they're changing.
They will learn.
Right. Maybe they're also in their process of changing, redeveloping, moving up.
Even personal healing, some of them. When we train, what do? We bring our trauma with us, right?
100%. 100%.
That's why, until these individuals heal, especially they would change their perception of the gym culture or automotive culture or any culture
at all.
We're not trying to, in case anyone's wondering if we're slandering the gym culture, we're not.
No.
This is just the culture in general.
Because everyone's on their own path, right? Our paths could be aligning like this, no problem. And at some point, there could be a crossroad and you go left, I go right.
Correct.
It doesn't mean at some point we're not going to rejoin back up at another path. It's like in relationships, people fight so much to stay within that relationship or friendship. It's not healthy. If it's not working, it's not there. It's okay to let go. There's people that have let go and 15, 20 years later, they've come back together and they've had the best relationship they've ever had. Yeah. There's that point that maybe you won't align. It's healthier to go, look, let's just end this in a nice situation so it's not angry, it's not aggressive, and you do you and I do me, and you know, if fate decides to bring us back together, they bring us back together.
And this goes out to everyone as well that's going to be listening to this part. Always learn to value your time, and value your time spent with people who are worth spending time with.
Yeah.
My biggest regret, I still say it's a regret, even though I'm not a fan of regretting. My biggest regret is not spending enough time with my old man. And I remember my father and I, we had a big falling out. Okay, we had a big falling out because of something he said, which I, again, at the time, remember that Malcolm previously was not very mature as he is now, okay? I held a grudge against him for what he said. I guess tore our father-son bond apart. And every time he tries to rekindle that bond with me, I'm too stubborn.
Yeah.
Right? And I ended up just not giving him my time. And I ended up just working every single day. My dad goes back to Malaysia quite a bit, and then he comes back to Perth every now and again, goes back to Malaysia, comes back. So that kind of like traveling transaction, yeah? Every time he's in Malaysia, he should do a video call with my mother and my brother.
Yeah.
And I'll always walk past the video call.
Just like, no.
No, my dad be like, hey, son.
Right? You're like...
Nah, yeah. But, man, all I did was like, oh, sup, dad?
Yeah.
And I just walked off.
And walked.
Whenever there are times when it hits me, right? So every Father's Day, it hits me. Because my dad passed away on Father's Day.
Yeah.
So imagine everyone wishing their dads Happy Father's Day, and I cannot do that anymore. Yeah. And that's a realization that I could have done better. I could have done better. And instead, like, I chose to hold a grudge against my own man. And until the day he passed. Since that day, okay? So since that day, our relationship was kind of like, our bond broke. I have not said I love him. And when the day he passed, I still did not say I love you. And I remember when I went to Malaysia last year to sell everything, all the paperwork and everything, the place where we placed his ash, and I wanted to say to him, I love you. I used the word I, and I was in tears. I could not even complete the sentence. That's why I say to everyone, time is valuable. If your loved ones, whether it could be your family or your closest friends who are going through some hard times now, make sure you spend that time with them. Hell, even tell them out of nowhere you love them.
Sometimes it's better to put that ego and that drama aside to
100%.
repair it.
Far, I wasn't expecting to cry, but it happened.
Oh, dude, appreciate you being so open with that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it's obviously something that's still heavy on you.
Yeah, dude, it's been 5 years now.
Yeah.
5 years now, and it still hits me every freaking year.
Yeah.
And because again, like, what caused my dad and my bond to break was alcohol.
Yeah.
And for 5 years now, I have not touched a single drop. And even to this very day, there are times where things that I'll do, movies that I'll watch, it will remind me of my dad. Like, oh, my dad would love this. My dad would do this. And there's times where a son needs his father's advice, and he ain't there no more. Same thing to every fathers with kids. Just know there's going to come a point in time where your kid is going to want your advice.
Yeah.
So make sure you're always there for your kids.
It's humbling having someone of your stature, right? Like, a lot of people would look at you as this big, buff, tough man and everything like that. I won't go
as far as I call myself big, and buff, but yeah, we'll go with that.
Like, you are, you know what I mean? I'm a big advocate of mental health, especially for men. And I find, you know, men don't open up enough, men don't cry enough. A lot of men will say it's weak to cry, it's weak to speak. But in situations like this, do you feel a sense of relief letting something out like that?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like,
being in that vulnerable situation.
And being able to share with someone, and including an audience who I hope would be able to resonate with me, you know what I mean? It's much more, it's very calming.
Thank you so much for the chat.
No, thank you.
We did bring you some goodies today.
Yeah.
So, not Rangy Chat stuff. This is from Street Mominess and Barrel. Now, Malcolm has worn, this is an original hat. This is one of the first hats I ever did 2+ years ago, and he has worn the shit out of this hat. So
I also clean it. That's why there's not much stains on it.
And this is a testament to the hats as well. This would be well over 2 years old. It still holds its color. As you can see, there's no sweat there at all. And this man sweats like no tomorrow when he pumps it out. So I have 2 new hats in this one.
Yeah. Oh,
not just that. I have 2 new hats in this one, so he has 4.
Oh, what? There's
There's two in
wow.
it.
I just noticed that.
So there's 4 in total that were brought in today. So he's got goodies all the way around. So, but no, I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to have a chat. I really appreciated having a gym session before. That was great. I think I go hard, but one thing that you realise is whenever you train with him, you don't. There is no sense of you going hard at all when you're training this man. It's just not. You're like, fuck yeah, I've really been pumping it, and then he'll be like, oh yeah, do this, and you're like, oh. It's a testament to his knowledge. He really knows how to make you whole, squeeze, and pump a muscle in a position that you never really thought you could. So I'll make sure that I put the links in the bio for Malcolm for his Instagram. If you are looking for a trainer in the gym or online, definitely check him out. He is really too humble. We say celebrate small wins. He doesn't humble himself enough with what he does. So
I like celebrating people. I guess my lesson for next year is trying to actually like
celebrate yourself. It's like people's love languages. Your private life is giving and seeing other people's happiness and other people's goals being hit, and that, you know, brings you up.
Honestly, giving time and everything too. I always have my time.
Yeah,
I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for everyone listening today as well. And I really appreciate every single one of y'all. Y'all actually listen to the end of the podcast. To me, is like that's your time invested in myself.
100%.
And for me, I can never thank you enough for taking your time out of your way for me. You know, but again, like I said, in a sense of time progression, this podcast has been my most comfortable podcast.
Thank you, bro.
I've done 3 total plus this already.
Yeah.
Previous 2 I've done. There's a lot of
moments.
I realized that today I actually paused a little bit. I say and but not as much as I used to.
Yeah.
But mostly I've been free flowing, hard talking, not communicating.
It's the vibe I'm trying to create, man.
Yeah.
You
so
see it a lot. No, I appreciate
Thank you for your time. Thank you everyone for your time, man.
Appreciate that.
I cannot wait to get this started. These caps I didn't even know there was 4 in there.
These are the 2.0, so these are a big step up from the old ones. So.
Yeah.
But appreciate everyone tuning in again. We may make this full episode. We'll get After Dark to edit it all up. There might be 2 episodes we'll go from there, but thanks for tuning in. So, till next time, let's go!
Take care, guys.